So Bryan, thanks for joining. A little bit of background that I thought will set some context. I know we've had a chance to work with you both as a client and most recently adding you to our advisory efforts. But you've got a really distinguished career, 35 years in leadership, both in high-tech and consumer industries. Also, I think from my perspective, someone that really walks their talk. I've had a chance to work with Bryan over the course of many years, and he's someone that says what he does and does what he says, and he's really big on accountability, both at an individual level with himself, but also the people he works with. He was the primary sponsor of our engagement with Bose to build enterprise change capability, and also comes at this with a multiple sort of lens approach. He's had other leadership roles prior to joining Bose, very much in a leadership position with EMC Dell around the VP of manufacturing. So this is a guy that knows how to do plant startups, to do supply chain management, to drive lots of enterprise change. So Bryan, we're excited to have you. To jump into the first question, what brought you to the conclusion that your organization should invest in building change capabilities in the first place?
Well, it was actually a little bit ironic. We had, over 4 years ago, had to go through a transformation. We actually called it a significant pivot for the company. We knew we needed to be able to invest in new capabilities that would make us more relevant and competitive in the market. But to make a pivot to those capabilities and be able to afford those new capabilities, we had to make decisions about letting go of previous capabilities that weren't serving us as well anymore. So hence the transformation. We were very structured in the approach. The executive team was fully committed. And we had 10 points of critical execution. And I can tell you that if you've ever seen a flying V before, if you were to picture that as ROA, there was a complete improvement in the ROA as a result of what we had to execute. The ironic part, at the executive level, we were quite happy that we were able to manage that pivot. We did employee engagement survey and realized that we did not do a good job with managing the people side of change for that transformation. We got significant feedback in that. And that's something we felt we had to do, something critically important. For us, it was the realization that we had not managed change well with our employees. We were very focused on what we had to execute, but getting people to really understand what that was, why it was so important, is where we lost employees. And so as a result of that, myself and the Vice President of HR co-sponsored work to determine what would it take to get enterprise change management. And another rock star in this business, Laura McGann, was our lead project sponsor, and she put a cross-functional team together across the company to vet 3 partners, potential partners to work with, because we knew that if we were going to do this, it had to be enterprise-wide. It could not just be points of where we thought we needed to apply change management. We believed in the longer view that this had to be a journey, and it had to be a journey to where not just tools and methods, but it become cultural. How we did the most important work had to involve much greater the employee side of change. And that was the genesis of the enterprise change management journey at Bose. And the result of that was figuring out how to package for the executive team to understand how important the investment was going to be.
Awesome. Thanks very much. I think it's a forward-looking leadership team that can be successful with a big pivot and also see the opportunities to address employee engagement through this. And so I think that's great insight. We continue to hear from more and more organizations that the direct connection between building effective muscle around change and employee engagement is a primary driver to get engaged in this work. So that's great to hear.